Hey guys, this is Ali Abbas Jafri. I am the director and producer for the short film Room 19. A few days ago, my team did a survey where they went out into the public and they asked the public what question would they like to ask to a new producer who's starting out. Question they asked was that how the producer's production skills got better throughout his project. So today I am here to answer that question. Throughout this project, my production skills developed a lot, especially in lighting, editing, and camera work. At the start, I mainly focused on telling the story, but as I continued working, I began to understand how technical decisions influence how the audience feels. For example, I became more confident with camera framing and movement. I used closer shots to view Mason's face to show his fear and handheld filming to make the footage feel realistic, which suited the found footage horror style. I also learned multiple rules in camera work. Uh, for example, I had a 180-degree boundary to shoot. I could not exceed that boundary. I could not go to the left or to the right. I should stay in a 180-degree. Secondly, I learned how to construct a film using the camera, using different type of flow, different type of cuts and different types of shots to create a emulsifying effect for my audience. Secondly, my understanding of lighting also improved. Instead of using normal lighting, I experimented with color and brightness to create mood. Using blue lighting helped create tension and it created a beautiful moonlight effect in Mason's room. While dim lighting using brown like clear paper in room 19 made the space feel more unsettling and abandoned. This helped me realize how lighting can support genre conventions. Go back to the film and play it. You can see when Mason has his candle in his hand and it goes towards the hangman knot. You can see a slight blue light at the floor of the room, which created a nice moonlight effect inside room 19. Lighting was a crucial part of my film because room 19 was a really dark and abandoned area. So the only source of lighting Mason had was a candle. It would have been hard for me to shoot only with the candlelight because the camera texture would be really grainy. So I used slight lighting and used a brown paper to create a abandoned and war zone type effect inside the room. Thirdly, my editing skills developed significantly throughout this project. I used Adobe Premiere Pro for editing my film. I learned how pacing and timing build suspense, especially by slowing moments before key events and ending the film with a sudden cut to black to leave the audience uncomfortable. You can see in the film when before the "You're late" shot, he was exploring the room. All the shots were steady and they were slowly edited and cut throughout. So before that was my final shot where I had to leave it on a cliffhanger. So I used slow camera movement and slow movement of my character to create a jump effect in the end. Also, color grading my film into a horror type theme was really important because if I use too much exposure, it would not seem as much as horror or mysterious. So color grading played an important role in my editing, which firstly I did not know nothing about color grading, but later on as I edited, I learned from YouTube tutorials. My editing skills got much better. To mobile apps CapCut and VN, they helped me a lot to create promotional videos to sell out my product. I used them to make teasers and trailers, which helped me a lot in the promotion process of my film. Fourthly, I learned how to create multiple sets for my shoot. I had two main sets. The first was Mason's room and second was room 19. Mason's room. For Mason's room, I've used a key light in which I attached a blue paper to create a moonlight effect. Secondly, I used a lamp to create an orange lighting effect. But the problem I did was that I did not use a proper app. I used the camera of my phone, so the exposure did turn out a little weird. In the end, it came out alright. After I did a little bit of color grading, it got better. For Mason's room, I use laptop, I use my phone. I used 3 to 4 phones because I had to do messaging and I had to pick up the call on phone. So a lot of devices, a lot of technology was used to create the scene of Mason's room. I used blue lighting, lamp, and all that to create a nice dark environment of Mason's room. For the room 19, I chose a roof chose the roof on top of my factory, where there was a huge room I could utilize. First up, I cleared it out. I used a hammer to create. I used a hammer to create holes in the walls to create a bullet hole effect. I used marker and paint to color out the walls. I used a chair and used wires and ropes to make it look like an execution chamber. I made a hangman knot. Overall, my set production also got much better throughout this project. Overall, this project helped me a lot. It helped me become more confident and intentional in my production choices, as I learned how filming, lighting, and editing all work together to engage the audience and to create a great atmosphere for my film. Thank you so much. This was my point of view. I hope you have a good time. Bye.